Hello. Welcome back to my channel. I am Monet and you're watching Life is Monet. Today, we're going to pick my December TBR. It is the last TBR for the entire year of 2021. And I have so many books that I want to read that I was overwhelmed just trying to pick it. And so I decided, after watching Riley Marie's video, that I was going to kind of do a randomizer where I created this jar filled with prompts. And I'm going to roll dice on my phone. And I'm just going to let the universe pick. We're gonna let the world have its will with me, and that way I feel like the pressure will be off of me to pick my TBR, because I feel like if I tried to pick a December TBR, I would fit 20 books in there, and it's just probably unrealistic that I'm gonna get through all of them, especially because I'm actually filming this on December 3rd. So December has actually already started. But I'm gonna rewind time and pretend like today is November 30th and I still have all of the days of December. I'm gonna roll some die on my phone and just pray that this works out. Okay, so we got 11, which is comfortable. I'm comfortable with 11. I feel like that is doable. So we're gonna do 11 prompts from my jar. I'm actually a little nervous. Let's see. I'm gonna get down in there and try to grab one. A book with a number in the title. A book with a number in the title. So the jar is already proving to be effective because this is a book that has been on my shelf for a long time and I had no intentions of reading it anytime soon, but thanks to the power of the jar, we're going to be reading Daisy Jones and the Six. This is a book that follows a character named Daisy who wants to be a famous singer in a band called the Six that she joins, and it's set in the 60s, late 60s LA. It says it's written as if it was an oral history of one of the biggest bands of the 70s. This year I read Opal and Nev, or the final revival of Opal and Nev, and I gave it 5 stars. I had a lot of fun reading it. I've heard that this was very similar in terms of like the devices that they use to tell the story, and if I'm going off of that, I think that I'm really going to enjoy this one. So that's book 1. We're gonna go with book 2. Book 2 is a mood read. Thank you. For my mood read, I'm going to go with the Heir of Navarre. This is the final book in the Heir of Revelations. I'm having so much fun reading them. I have so many like theories and hypotheses for how this book is going to end, and I know that I'm going to be in the mood to start this probably tonight, since I'm already late or early. I'm already early because it's November 30th, right? In filming this video. So yeah, very excited for this one. So far it's been very good to me. Like, I'm already enjoying this. I put the prompts in the jar though, so this one. This is prompt number 3. A YA by a veteran or favorite author. A YA by an author that is a favorite or an author that I've read a lot of books from. Gonna use this prompt to read Still Striker, which is the sequel to Sky Hunter by Marie Lu. This is a YA dystopia. The book actually just came out within the last like 2 or 3 months. And yeah, I feel like this is the perfect time for me to read it before the year is out. So prompt number 4. A book on someone else's TBR. So I was just watching a TBR video by Huanani Reads. I'm just gonna go back to her video and select one that was on her TBR.
And that will be Vengeful by B.E. Schwab.
So it looks like both me and Huanani Reads will be reading Vengeful in the month of December. This is the sequel to Vicious by B.E. Schwab, a book that I loved and gave 5 stars. So this is also like a really cool pick. I'm having like a good draw round. I love this already. We're going in for pool 5. I have 2, so I'm gonna drop that and do it again. 1 this time. Then we have for prompt number 5, Shauna Maguire. This one, I don't own any other books by Shauna Maguire that I have not read, and I know that I want to check out the first series, the longest one. I think that Shauna Maguire actually has like a 15 book series that's an adult fantasy. And so I'm gonna try to get that from my library. So the series is actually called October Day, and book 1 is the Rosemary and Rue. I'm going to get this one on audio. Yeah, it's 346 pages for a mass market paperback, so it should be super short, because 300 pages or 350 pages on a mass market paperback is actually not a lot. So yeah, we're gonna get this one on audio. So we're going in for pull number 6. It's so hard to get just one piece of paper. A Colt's Favorite Mystery. This one will probably have to be audio as well because I actually don't own any mystery books right now. I still have time to run to the library before the library closes, so if the book I pick is one that I can pick up from the library, then we'll go with that. I feel like a cult favorite mystery that I hear all the time is Gone Girl, so I'm gonna search for that one to see if we can grab the audio for that. Borrowed, we now have the audio for Gone Girl, and that's what we're gonna use for this prompt. Going in for pull number 7. A debut novel. Okay, for this prompt, we're going to go with Keeper of the Night. This follows a character who is half British Reaper, half Japanese Shinigami. And apparently she doesn't fit in with the British Reaper society. And so instead she travels to Japan to try and find acceptance there instead. And she is tasked with finding 3 demons that she has to, I think, destroy. I'm not clear on the synopsis clearly, but when I do my wrap up, you just wait on it. So going in for pull number 8. That one was 2 in 1. Pull number 8 is a TikTok favorite. I have not gone on the TikTok app in so long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in book talk, and the first book that I see twice will be selected. We'll just go with that. Okay, so the first book that we saw twice was actually The Song of Achilles, which I have already read. So we have to go again.
I'll be fucked up if you can't be right. I do this, I nobody else as good as you. I need you to stay.
Okay, so the book that we saw twice for the second time is actually The Daughter of a Pirate King. So this is another book that I'm going to have to do on audio because I don't own it. Let me see if I can grab the audio for this one. If not, my library, she's gonna see me, not me just seeing that the author of Daughter of a Pirate King is Tricia Levenseller, and I read The Shadows Between Us. I hated it. It's the first book I ever read by her, and I put her on the list of authors I would never read from again. I Must Eat Crow this month, apparently. I just know I'm not gonna enjoy that book. Like, going in for pull number 9. An indie author fantasy. For this prompt, we're going to go with the second book in the Cradle series. I'll be reading this on Kindle Unlimited because it is included in my membership. Or this series follows a character by the name of Lyndon. Lyndon lives in a society that is dependent upon their ability to use magic, and he was born without that ability, or he was born weaker than other people in his society and he was looked down upon. And at the end of book 1, we end where he decides to leave his home of the Sacred Valley to go out and explore other ways of gaining strength and the ability to wield more magical power. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing what happens when we leave the Sacred Valley in this book. Prompt number 10. A book that was gifted to you. I received this as a gift from my friend Alana. It is The Empress of Salt and Fortune, and I would love to fit in a shorter book into this video. I recently seen that Tammy from Tammy Tries to Read recommended this in like a short video list that she recently posted, and raved about it, said it was like amazing, and I'm looking forward to it. It's a short read, so I'm honestly just relieved that I know that I'll get through this quickly. I actually don't know what this one is about. And then for the last prompt, number 11. Put 10 books that you want to read in a randomizer and let it select one for you. I'm gonna pull up a randomizer on my phone. Okay, so I have entered 10 books on this list and we're going to just let it randomize. The Shadowed Sun came up as book number 1. This is the second book and the conclusion to the Dream Blood duology, and I have been looking forward to this book all year, so I'm actually very glad that it came up on this randomizer. If you aren't familiar with the Dream Blood duology, there is this ancient civilization called the Gujarat, and it's kind of like ancient Egyptian empire. That's like the myth that it kind of derives from when N.K. Jemisin started writing. And in Gujarat, they worship this goddess, and they basically feed her all type of like dream sequences and like dream blood, and they basically do everything they can to feed her peace and tranquility and joy. So the city of Gujarat basically operates off peace. We follow multiple characters, one of which is actually going to be the keepers of that peace, and he starts to get inklings that there is corruption seeking into the city, and not only will it disrupt the entire harmony of the city, it will also upset the goddess that they worship, because basically if you feed her turmoil and corruption, then that is what she gives back to them. There's also another character that we follow who is a diplomat from another country, and this conspiracy or this corruption that seems to be seeping into Gujarat will cause Gujarat to go to war with her home country, and her entire point of being there is to make sure that she can keep the peace between both empires. And so we're following her as well. If you're looking for a book that is ancient Egyptian inspired and has fantasy, I would recommend this to you. It's very interesting how the sites go around collecting like dream fluid from people, because they will get it from like happy dreams or sex or just all kind of things. And when you get to the point where like you're old and your bones hurt and you're just in pain all the time, they don't want you feeding that to the goddess, so they actually end up taking your life. So the Gatherer's sole purpose is to go around keeping the peace, making sure that everybody's happy and they're feeding the goddess happiness, because the second that they don't, they're pretty much done living. I've heard that book 2, which is The Shadowed Sun, is exponentially better than The Killing Moon, which is book 1, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Okay, so we have 7 of the 11 books here. That is going to be Still Striker, The Keeper of Night. We have 2 YAs. Then we have Vengeful, and then Daisy Jones and the Six. We have the Heir of Navarre and the Shadowed Sun, both of which will be concluding a series that I am in the middle of reading, because they are both the finales. We have the Empress of Salt and Fortune, which is going to be a really short and fun one. I have the audiobook for Gone Girl, which is going to be a cult favorite mystery. I have the ebook for Cradle, and then lastly, we're going to get the audio for The Daughter of a Pirate King, which is the only one that I'm not really looking forward to, because again, that's an author that I swore I would never read from again, but apparently I'm eating crow. This was a lot of fun to do, and I think that I'm going to keep doing it every month throughout the new year, so you guys can look forward to that as well. If you've made it to the end of this video, please leave me a little rabbit, and I will see you guys next time.